Hi guys, it's me, it's Nick. Still don't have an intro, but as you can see here, it's been a while since we've done the gameplay stuff, and the tournament videos haven't been posting. I will explain in a second, but right now I have the table in front of me. Hold on, let me make myself smaller so you guys can see. There you go, that should be good. And so right now I will talk about uh, the games, Matchday 3, 4, and 5. 5, there's still 2 games left. Um, but I'll talk about those matchups. I'll talk about what happened in each of the games and if I expect the results. It's just the usual stuff, and it's going to be a Matchday 3, 4, and 5 review with Matchday 6 preview. So I'll get into the matches. So this is Matchday 3, so my big matchup came in this. So at the time in the table, Rick was second, and I was third. I had the home match. I used Atletico Madrid. He used Barcelona, I think it was. And so I ended up getting the W. I went up 2-0. I held on in the final 10 minutes when he scored. I actually went into the corner. But it was, I'm not going to say comfortable. I think I hit the post 3 times, and he hit the post twice. Or, yeah, he hit the post 3 times as well. Or you missed like 2 sitters and he hit the post twice. I missed a sitter and I hit the post 3 times. So it could have been way higher scoring. But I think that was probably the fair result given the match. I mean, I think he's definitely, at this point, this was probably my closest game. A little bit closer than Niger because it stayed 0-0 for a longer time, you know? Uh, Notice how that says Nathan instead of Marcelo. Marcelo actually dropped out, unfortunately. He wasn't having fun with all the lag that was happening in his matches. So, and he says he plays it for fun, but he did leave us with a site that might help with the tracking of all the matches and whatnot, you know. So, thank you, Marcelo, for participating. Glad that you did participate, but this match finished before mine, so at the time, Marcelo was fourth in the table. Footies was first. If you remember my prediction, I said Footies would win. That did not look to plan. Marcelo straight up dominated this match. It was Leipzig versus Liverpool. Footies used Leipzig. Marcelo used Liverpool. This is the biggest surprise to me. Um, give me a second. Anyhow, so I don't remember what it was. I think it was talked about the result. This result completely surprised me. I did not see a 3-0 going to either person. I thought this would be a cagey affair and it would be close for the majority of the game, if not all of the game. So that totally surprised me. I do not think that Footies was expecting it, nor do I think Marcelo was expecting it, because Footies was number 1 in the table. Marcelo was fourth. Marcelo at the time got the home victory. He dropped out, so Nathan will take his place and take his points for now. You know, unless Nathan wants to play those matches again. But the next matches was Eddie and Wilmer, and this surprised me because I said Eddie would win for one. Yes, I mean he is my best friend, so obviously I'm going to predict him in basically every match. But I think he got kind of screwed at the end. I mean, Ter Stegen made an unreal save, but Wilmer played very well. I think, although Eddie should have won at the very end, I think a 1-1 was probably fair given the whole basis of things. You know, Jose Maito 0, Maito 4. Maito was 4-0 up inside 30 minutes, and it was absolutely ruthless finish. I think 2 of his hit the post and went in, and the other 2 were like top ends, you know, nothing any keeper could do. It was Jose used Leicester, Maito used, I think it was Liverpool, I want to say. So, yeah, pretty dominant. So, I think that, oh, give me a second. As someone who watched that game, I fully expected Maito to win. I did not expect him to put it 4-0 up within 30 minutes. Sebastian 2, Pablo 5 was the biggest surprise on this match day, though, because Pablo got his first dub. Good job, Pablo. You played very well. Hold on, let me adjust my camera so it shows me as a whole. I didn't watch this match because this match happened at like 12:30 at night. I watched Matchday 4 Adonijah versus, I think was it Sebastian before this match. Sebastian played Adonijah He came back from 3-0 down and won inside 30 minutes, so Adonijah now, unfortunately, has had the 3 toughest losses and is the biggest choke out of everyone in the group, including Pablo, who just won, you know. But I think that this is a surprise. Not only that Pablo scored 5, but the fact that he won in general. Because like honestly, I didn't feel like it was coming at any point. Because if he lost 11 with Jose, which you're about to see, um, yeah, I didn't think you could. Jose was second bottom at that point. You know, I didn't think Pablo could get it done if he couldn't beat Jose. So moving on to match day 4, Rick 2, Wilmer 2. Rick was in poor form, I guess. I mean, Wilmer defended very well this game from what Rick said. He defended with Messi. I don't know who Rick used, but apparently Rick kept getting frustrated over and over and over. Again, this was Marcelo before he was Nathan. This is the big game. I will post my reaction to the video of it later. But it was a pretty dominant victory. Well, not dominant. It was dominant on the scoreline, and it was dominant because it was dominated by one man, Lionel Messi. Messi dominated for me. He was the big difference. The fact that I had him and Marcelo didn't, who used Leipzig. I used Barca because I had to. I didn't. It was like every 4th match you're supposed to play with the third team. And since it was my 4th match, I had to play with the third team. Same with him and Leipzig. If not, I would have used Atletico or Napoli. But yeah, Messi, I had Messi, Marcelo didn't. That ended up being the difference in the scoreline. Footy 6, Eddie 1. I expected this, to be honest. I mean, as much as I like Eddie as my best mate, I did not expect him to win this game. Not one bit. Footies did exactly what he was supposed to do. Jose 11, Pablo 0. This is the biggest meme result because it was the 2 bottom people in the group, which is why Pablo beating Sebastian was so surprising. I did not think he would win any game after this happened because this happened before Sebastian game. I thought if he couldn't even make it competitive against Jose, what hope does he have against like anyone who's actually like good? He's not gonna get a result then. I mean, I'm not saying Jose's bad. I'm just saying he was second to bottom, and he beat him 11-0. I did not think Pablo would do anything, you know. Adonijah 3, Sebastian 4. This game was complete banter. Adonijah used Wolves, Sebastian used Colombia. And as I already mentioned, Adonijah just dominated him in the first 60 minutes. And then in the final 35 minutes, he blew a 3-0 lead and lost. Like Adonijah, what are you doing, man? This is such a... Whenever I was watching this game, I was like, there's no way Adonijah can actually lose this lead, you know? He did so well to get it, and then he just lost it, just in a second, you know? It was such a shame to watch, you know? I felt so bad as his friend to see him lose it like that. If you guys want to watch it, you can, but like, jeez, man, Adonijah, what are you doing? I felt, oh man, it's such a sad result. But anyhow, we're moving on to match day 5. Only 3 matches have been played. Eddie versus Maito is the 4th one. It will happen tomorrow at 3. After mine versus Maito on match day 6, which is a preview of what's to come. But Adonijah 3, Wilmer 1. Adonijah gets his first W. Recovers from the Sebastian loss. He did say after this game that he was still mad about Sebastian. But it was a close match. Adonijah, I think it should have been a 2-2. I think Wilmer should have gotten at least a point from this. I think Wilmer hit the post twice. I know he hit one in like the 83rd minute, so I think he should have gotten a late equalizer, you know. I think that would have changed the whole complexion of the game and possibly of the group. You know, Wilmer has 3 points. Adonijah only has 1 despite playing the best football basically top to bottom of everyone in the 4 matches, you know. None of the matches you can say he really deserved to lose, to be honest. I mean, he just lost. You know, I mean, that's just simple as it is. Hold up, I'm going to adjust this again. Rick 5-0 Sebastian. I fully expected Rick to win. I thought Rick would go out for revenge after losing to me and losing to Wilmer and losing a total, was it like 5 points in 2 matches, you know, after you had a perfect start, you know. So I fully expected him to win comfortably, maybe not 5-0, but definitely comfortably. I thought it would be like 3-0. And Pablo 0 and Nick 5, it could have been a lot worse, to be honest, but my mind wasn't focused on this game. You can hear it in Pablo's stream. I say that Marcelo dropped the tournament at that point. Uh, in the middle of this game, it was like 2-0 inside like 20 minutes, and then after that, I just couldn't be bothered. I just wanted to get the match done and try and figure out a way to get Marcelo back into the tournament. But yeah, Marcelo dropped, Nathan's in, and my mind wasn't in this game, to be honest, but 5-0 is very respectable for Pablo, considering the circumstances. Losing 11-0 Jose 9-2 to Footsies. Uh, but whatever, a win is a win. It was hollow victory. It's one of the hollowest victories of this tournament so far, of anyone. But yeah, it perfectly leads up to match day 6, which the matches, let me confirm. Let me see. The matches are as follows. Oh goodness, it's gonna take a second to get. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to. Oh, here we go. Adonijah home. Yeah, let me get the table up so you guys can see the importance of the matches. Adonijah home versus Eddie. Wilmer home versus Pablo. Jose home versus Nathan. Nick home versus Maito. And Rick home versus Footies. Sebastian has his break. So I'm going to talk about the matches. So I'll talk about Adonijah versus Eddie. Look, I think Adonijah has played the best football in terms of versus his opponent. He's played to the level of his opponent. In every matchup, he deserved. He could very easily have 12 points at this stage, but he only has 3. And that's very worrisome if it's Adonijah. He's right in the relegation zone, but the EFL Championship promotion zone. Right now, Eddie is at automatic promotion. If Eddie wins, I think he'll be very comfortably into that position. That'll be perfect for him because Jose will be playing Nathan, which might be a tough game for both opponents. I'll talk about that one later. But I think Adonijah's got to win this one. I think I expect a minimum draw for Adonijah. I don't see him losing. I love Eddie. He's basically another brother from another mother that like the same. But I can't see him. He's too out of form for the fact that he hasn't played. Before this tournament, he hadn't played he might be played once or twice in a year. If this was FIFA 17 version of him, I think he gets this dub handily. I think FIFA 17 Eddie is up there at the top. But I don't think he's going to get to that form for a long time. And I fully expect Adonijah should win if he can finish the job. If he cannot finish the job, Eddie should get something from this game. But I think Adonijah will have learned how to finish the job now that he finally has that first win. So I think he'll finish the job now. Moving on to the next matchup. By the way, Adonijah's key player. I'll talk about key player. Eddie has to use... Oh, no, Eddie can use anyone for this matchup, but I assume he'll go Real or Juve. If it's Juve, it's obviously going to be Ronaldo. If it's Real Madrid, his key player will be Benzema. Adonijah, I expect, will use Liverpool in this matchup. He hasn't really used his secondary team, who is... Adonijah's second team is Bayern. He used him last game to get a win. I don't know if he'll use him again, just as good luck. But I expect he'll use Liverpool. I think his key player will have to be Roberto Firmino. But I think it's going to be 3-1 to Adonijah. I think if he focuses in on finishing the matchup and finally getting the results, he can definitely go deep in this tournament, or at least challenge everyone. Which is all you want to if you're at the bottom 5 at this stage. The top 5 or the top 4 for sure can definitely win any one of them. But as for that I think 3-1. Wilmer versus Pablo. The battle of the two people at the bottom 2, but both won after a positive result, finally getting a win. But losing 5-0 in the next game, but expected lost. Versus a guy who's played well for the majority of this tournament, if not every game of the tournament. But is unlucky to have not been the only one to not taste victory. So I think if I had to put money on someone who would actually get the job done, I would put Wilmer. I think even though Pablo beat Sebastian, who beat Wilmer and Adonijah, I think that Pablo is gonna lose this game. And I think it's gonna be very close. It's gonna be a very entertaining matchup, even though it's two of people at the bottom. They're too evenly matched. I don't know who's gonna use who, so I won't say a key player. But if they're relatively equal teams, rather than Pablo using like Wolves and Wilmer using like Barca or someone like that, I think this will be a relatively equal game, But I expect Wilmer to use PSG if I had to guess. But I think Wilmer will get this win. I think he'll go up to 5 points. I think it'll be 2-1. It'll be scrappy, or like 3-1. It'll be scrappy for a long time, but Wilmer will get the job done. As for Jose versus Nathan, I have not seen Nathan play. I have played Jose. Jose has a win under his belt after destroying Pablo, but that's about it. That counts for 11 of his goals. He's had a very leaky defense, to say the least. I mean, 15 goals conceded in 3 matches, basically. That's 5 a game. He's had a very poor defensive record, and he's going to get someone who's decent, from what I've heard. I think I have to go with Nathan to get his first victory in the tournament as a replacement for Marcelo, Nathan has, from what I heard, basically on the level of Wilmer, which means he'll play everyone except for the top 4 very, very toughly, He'll be able to grind out a result if he needs to, So I reckon that Nathan can and will win this game against Jose. But again, it'll be close. I would not be surprised if this was a draw. But if Nathan plays as good as people think he can play or know that he can play, he can definitely do bits in this tournament. And now moving on to the top 2 matchups. Rick at home versus Footies. I messaged Rick before the draws were made. I said, who are the 2 people that you don't want to play, and how far do you want to go in this tournament? He said, and I quote, I expect to go to the final, or I will win the game. Hang on, let me see. So I can give you guys the exact words that Rick used. He said that when I asked him about it, dang it, I lost the picture, or I lost it. Okay, guys, I lost it. I'm an absolute twat for that. Give me a second. He said, I found it. I'm going to the final. I really want to face Footies and you. He said, why us? He said, I think it's good. It's a good match. He said, he does not want it. There's no one that he fears. And when I asked him about how it's going to go, he said, I'm going to win. Quote, unquote. I wish I had paused the video so I could find the actual comment, but there's the actual comment. He seemed very confident, very eager, up to the task, and he gets it at home. Footies might be out of form or might be mentally fried due to the foot champs. I think that could definitely play in Rick's favor. This is probably the toughest one because on the one hand, you got someone who is not choked under the pressure. I mean, because Footies did beat Maito, but is notorious for not playing at his best, in his own words, when the pressure is on. You got Rick, who's very eager, but has already lost to one of the top dogs, Actually, has he lost to 2 of them? No, he's lost to one of the top dogs, and he drew with Wilmer. I don't see Footies drawing with Wilmer, regardless of the scenario, but this is such a tough game. I'm going to say 2-2 draw, just to be safe, so I don't pick a side and screw it up. I would not be surprised if either of them won. But I think Footies, if I had to pick one, I would pick Footies, just because he's just a little bit more assured, I mean, they're basically identical, except for the fact that Footies played a game less, They literally have the exact same record, other than that one extra game, which Rick didn't win, He drew, and then me versus Maito, my unblemished, my perfect start, on the line, the best defense um, out of everyone, the best goal difference out of everyone, the tied for the most goals scored out of everyone. Everything's on the line. Against Maito, who I labeled as the dark horse now. Um, I think he is the dark horse because I don't see Adonijah anymore beating me, Rick, or Footies, or Maito. I can see Maito beating all of us though, 100%. Is it my home game? I'm pretty sure it is. Let me try and find the message again that I put. I'm pretty sure I am the home player. Yes, I am home. I am going to be using Atletico de Madrid. Yeah, and he's going to be using one of his two teams, two primaries. Even though this should be his fourth matchup, but I let it go since I know he would play it against his third team against Eddie. So Maito's probably going to use Liverpool, if I had to guess, or Napoli. I would say he's going to use Liverpool. If there was ever a person to offensively outgun me, it would be this guy. But the problem with that is I haven't had my best offensive performance yet, you know? I feel like I've been in second gear offensively this entire tournament. I haven't had a game where, like, in 20 minutes, I just went boom, 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 boom. And it's like 4-0 up, and it's just free-flowing football that no one in the tournament can stop, you know? I haven't had that match yet. And that's scary for everyone else because that means I've been in second year and there's still another level to my goals and such, you know. And my defense has been the best out of everyone. In every match that I needed to keep a clean sheet or needed to keep under one goal, I did it, you know. So that doesn't bode well for me, for Maito. All signs point towards me winning, quite frankly, because Footies also beat down Maito. But Maito at the same time won 6-4 versus Marcelo and drew with him 3-3. So he's definitely capable of beating everyone, you know? I'm going to say, this can sound so cocky, but 2-1 to me. I think my offense will not have exploded in this game, but I think it will go off enough, you know, that I'll overwhelm them for a brief period and I'll just hold out the result, you know? I think I can trust myself to hold out a result of everyone other than Footies. I think we two are probably the two that you would pick to hold out a result. But even still, this is going to be a tough game. This is probably going to be my toughest test yet in terms of matchups, you know, in terms of quality of the opponent, in terms of what they're capable of. This should be a fun matchup. This should be a fun match day. But, so there you have it. So I expected Adonijah to win. I have to see what the other matches were. Wilmer to win versus Pablo, Jose to lose to Nathan. I beat Maito, and then Rick to draw with Footies. So thank you guys for watching. Sorry if this is like a little bit just jumbled and all that stuff, but kind of getting ready for the match day. The matches will be played on Monday most likely. My match will be tomorrow, but for the majority of the match day 6, they will be played either Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. And Matchday 6 will have finished by Tuesday. So thank you guys for watching. Watch this video if you want. If you stuck through the end, fair enough. But thank you guys for listening, and see you guys next time.